The Galactic Council had made its decision. After 300 cycles of humanity's absence, the empty chair bearing Earth's insignia would be removed from the chamber. Ambassador Valthara of the Kryn Dominion proposed the motion with barely concealed satisfaction. The vote was unanimous. What none of them knew was that humans had been listening the entire time. Olivia Chun stood on the observation deck of the Endeavour, watching the swirling purple nebula outside the viewport. Her reflection stared back at her, a woman in her late 30s, dark hair pulled into a practical bun, eyes that had seen too much of the galaxy's cruelty. "They really did it," Oliver Martinez said, approaching from behind. He handed her a steaming cup of coffee, a luxury they'd managed to synthesize after years of experimentation. "Removed our chair like we were never there." Olivia took the cup, savoring the warmth. "We were never there, Oliver." "Not really." They invited Earth to the Council 2 weeks after the arrival, 2 weeks after first contact, when we were still reeling from the knowledge that we weren't alone. She turned to face him. "They wanted us weak, compliant, grateful." Oliver leaned against the railing, his weathered face creasing with a bitter smile. The former engineer had become something else entirely during humanity's long exile: a strategist, a leader, a symbol of human resilience. And when we refused to give them access to our oceans, our rare earth elements, our genetic diversity, they isolated us, Olivia finished, blockaded our system, cut us off from galactic trade routes, made it impossible for us to reach that seat of honor they'd offered. 300 years. 300 years since humanity had been systematically excluded from galactic civilization while technically maintaining council membership. A chair with no one to sit in it. A voice with no way to be heard. A diplomatic masterpiece of cruelty. But humanity had not been idle. The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened within hours of the chair's removal. Ambassador Valthara preened before the assembled delegates, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light into rainbow patterns. "Esteemed members," she began, "we have finally corrected a historical anomaly. The humans, in their absence, have the chamber's lights died, emergency systems kicked in, bathing the vast hall in red. Then, every screen, every holographic display, every communication device in the entire Galactic Council complex activated simultaneously. Olivia's face appeared, 50 meters tall, looking down at the assembled aliens with an expression of polite interest. "Good afternoon, honored council members," she said in perfect galactic common. "My name is Dr. Olivia Chun, and I represent humanity. I hope you don't mind the interruption, but I noticed you removed our chair." Valthara's crystalline body flushed with angry orange light. "This is a violation of what?" Olivia's image smiled. "We're not members of the council anymore, are we? You just voted us out, which means we're no longer bound by council law, council jurisdiction, or council authority." She paused, letting that sink in. "Do you know what we've been doing for 300 years? Another figure appeared beside Olivia's projection. Oliver, holding a data tablet, his expression professionally neutral. "We've been building," Oliver said. "See, you made a miscalculation. You thought isolation would break us. You thought cutting us off from the galaxy would make us desperate to comply with your demands." He pulled up a star map that replaced the background behind their images. "Instead, we adapted." The map lit up with thousands of markers. Colony worlds, shipyards, research stations, mining operations all beyond council space. In the unmapped territories, the civilized galaxy had dismissed as too dangerous, too remote, too worthless to explore. "We found other ways," Olivia continued. "The void regions you all feared? We colonized them. The dimensional rifts your ships avoided? We learned to navigate them. The dark matter fields that drove your sensors blind? We built new sensors." The council chamber erupted in chittering, buzzing, and electromagnetic protests. The chief counselor, an ancient being called the Eldest, raised a appendage for silence. "This is unexpected," the Eldest admitted, its translation device converting ancient thoughts to words. "But humanity is one species. We are thousands. Your posturing changes nothing. Oliver's smile was sharp enough to cut. We're not posturing, eldest. We're notifying you. You see, when you removed that chair, you made a statement. You told the galaxy that humanity doesn't deserve a seat at your table. So we built our own table, Olivia said, and invited others to sit at it. The star map expanded. New markers appeared, species humanity had encountered in the void regions. The Scarvan insectoid refugees fleeing council taxation. The Luminar energy beings the council had deemed non-sentient and therefore exploitable. The Tharos, crystalline entities too primitive for council consideration. Dozens of species. Hundreds of worlds. An entire alliance that had grown in the darkness beyond council space. We call it the Frontier Coalition, Oliver explained. No hereditary seats. No species ranked above others. No trade monopolies or resource exploitation. Just mutual cooperation and defense. Velthara S form had shifted to a pale, frightened blue. You're declaring war. No, Olivia said softly. We're declaring independence. Complete independence. As of this moment, the Frontier Coalition is closed to council ships. Your trade routes that skirted our territory? Closed. Your explorer vessels that used our space stations for resupply? No longer welcome. Your scientific outposts in what you thought was uninhabited space. They're in coalition territory now. The implications crashed through the chamber like a tidal wave. The council had expanded into every corner of known space. But their supply lines, their trade routes, their expansion vectors, all of them threaded through regions humanity now controlled. The eldest leaned forward, its ancient eyes fixing on Olivia's projection. What do you want? Olivia and Oliver exchanged glances. When Olivia spoke again, her voice carried the weight of 300 years of human perseverance. Nothing from you, she said. We wanted a chair at your table once when we were young and naive. You taught us we didn't need your approval to thrive. So keep your council, your rules, your hierarchies. We'll be out here, in the frontier, building something better. The projection began to fade. Oh, Oliver added, almost as an afterthought, and we're offering asylum to any species that wants to leave council space. No questions asked. Freedom has a funny way of being attractive. The transmission ended. The Galactic Council sat in stunned silence, staring at the empty space where humanity's chair had been just hours before. In removing it, they had freed humanity from the last, chain binding them to a system designed to exploit them, and in the darkness beyond council space, humanity's new civilization was already welcoming its first wave of refugee species. Tired of being beneath someone else's boot, the empty chair was gone. Humanity had never needed it anyway.